There she be. The fucking, I got her out of the field. The fucking holy hell saw. I gotta oil it. It's all frozen up. I gotta. Hopefully, I can even get it to work. I'll get it to work, but hopefully, it's not that hard to get it to work. Hopefully, it doesn't like take me any, parts. Hopefully, it doesn't take me any parts or like killing myself to do it. Because I really, I got a whole bunch of, I got a guy that he was making me siding for the house out of real lumber, real logs. And but he's got stacks of, when he cuts the rounds, he cuts the edges off. They call it slab wood. If anybody doesn't know what slab wood is, but yeah, this has been sitting down in the field for about 15 years at least. Yeah. Yeah, last time we used that truck right there was almost new. That truck was almost new. I have another truck just like that was a year or two older than that one. It's still over there actually, but it's derelict. It's condemned. It's gone. Just been sitting for too long. But yeah, back when that truck was new was the last time we used this thing. I think I don't know, about 2005 ish. So fuck, 2005, 2010 maybe. Which, to an old man like me, that's not that long ago, but, to some people, that's a long time ago. It's funny how time goes so quick. I remember using this thing when I was brand new, back in 90s, 80s, 90s. This is, like I was saying on a video earlier I was making, I don't know if I posted it or not. I don't remember if I don't know. But, the guy that taught me how to weld, he was using, him and his family members were out. People used to, people that lived like on houses like this. They had big families. Farmers and stuff. People. That live in the country. But yeah, everybody had one of these. They had an old tractor and an old one of these things, and but they were old, crude machines and stuff. So where they didn't have guards or anything. And my welding teacher, so I can actually finish the story because I never tend to do that. Something that I changed my. But he actually, him and his brother and them were all using it. I'm talking the whole family was outside. They all, real families would go out and all work together to get stuff done. And keep, especially when it came to firewood and stuff. Mom and dad mom and sister would probably be stacking it, and dad would be using this, while brothers would be splitting or whatever. Either way. And his brother, actually, something happened where this blade, I don't know, something happened, pinched it dead, and that blade cut in half. That blade snapped in half, like literally like a grinding disc. And of course, when you're running this, guess where you're standing? Right, you're not standing over here, to the edge. You're standing right here. I wish I had told you to hold the camera, but yeah, you're literally standing here and you're working on both sides of the blade. You got the log, and then you got the piece you're cutting off right here. So I always work with, I can't show you, but I'd have one hand on the log and one hand on the part you're cutting off, and it, so you cut it and chuck it. Or how me and Dad would do it is I would stand on big logs. I would stand on that side over there, and he would grab the, because he was strong, big man. I was a kid, teenager. The big 4-foot logs are heavy, so and plus I don't know, that's just how we did it, Plus he knew the size to cut it. Oh, there's reasons for it. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, that blade got cut, that blade snapped in half. Something happened, and his brother got cut in half in front of the whole family on one of these things. And it's happened to a lot of people over the years, last 100 years, Like I said, this was a pretty staple thing. Everybody that owned it, you'll find like a lot of old John Deere Bs and stuff that have these on them. Without, see the guard on it? They won't have that. I've seen them where they run big belts that ran off the big power takeoff belts on tractors, like steam engines and stuff. But this is actually one that we bought brand new back in the 80s. And like I said, this was the only tool on this property that was Dad was like, don't ever touch that when I'm not around. It was basically like that, off limits, Anything. I mean, this guy would have me use, you name it, chainsaw. You name it. My dad was not very kind of guy that would like care about his kid getting killed. It wasn't, he didn't, we weren't raised for children. We were raised because he wanted an army. You know what I mean? It was kind of like that, kind of, No, I don't think that's what happened. That's how it ended out, But yeah, this one was definitely off limits to me. Don't ever use that. One day, me and my neighbor Mark fired it up while he was at work. Not thinking. Or no, we were thinking. We were thinking we were gonna look like heroes because we cut a bunch of wood for him while he was at work. And he actually got home and he yelled at us instead. And I was like, to my dad, yelling at you for doing work was not normal. It wasn't like it was. Yeah, this is the only time I ever got yelled at using this thing right here, firing this up when he wasn't around, And I mean, you name it, I ran all kinds of shit when I was a kid around, Yeah, I'm gonna get it going. Just a little tour of it. It's called the Woodsman. It's actually supposed to have a guard. See this bar right here? It's supposed to have a guard that goes over this. Another modern mechanized safety feature. I don't know where that is. That fell off years ago. She's frozen up. I got her soaking in oil right now. But yeah, it's pretty nice. I got all kinds of slab wood I can get for free. I just got to drive a half-hour away to get it. 25 minutes away. I actually got a trailer. A guy that said bring me down with a trailer or something because I don't have a trailer to. Oh, I got another truck here. I don't have any big hitches on my trucks. He's got a big, a gooseneck trailer. And he said he, loaded up with a whole shitload of wood for me. But I think I'll just grab and slab on the flat. But yeah, they call it slab wood. But we cut hundreds of cords of it on this saw. We used to run this on an old case. This is an old. That's an old 200. This is an old 2000 Ford 2000 tractor right here. They call this a Ford 2000. Probably the most sought after little Fords from this time you can buy. For a place like this, I don't think you could buy a better tractor. Even every time I drive this, like even right now, I was just driving it to go pick this thing up, and I was like, man, this is a good tractor. It looks rough, but when you're on it, it's like, wow, this is a pretty nice little tractor. But yeah, there she is, our woodsman. Hopefully, I can get it going, and I don't feel like cutting through slab with a chainsaw. See ya.